not for everybody. If you get offended easily, please click back and do not continue.
Don't do it.
We can, and probably will, get vulgar, perverted, potty mouthed, loud, obnoxious, tipsy, and more. If you continue, please understand that you have been warned, and we don't need your negativity after you have chosen to listen anyways.
Right.
Thank you. And now for those of you who are still here, enjoy and drink happy.
Okay.
What?
She flipped me off. You set me up for failure right there. She says 3, 2, and the one flipping me off.
I was like a last minute, hey, I think I'm going to do this instead.
That was pretty great.
All right.
Okay, back to our original plan.
Back to our regular scheduled program. Ready?
What's up, party people?
It's another week of Cougar Drinks. And
what's your poison of choice, Shey?
ooh, I got something new. It's yummy.
It's like a Cougar Dragon, isn't it?
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you. I'll be
That's
here
an
all night.
amazing name. I hadn't even thought about naming it. That's great.
Cougar Dragon.
So it is lemon vodka, pineapple vodka,
Yep.
dragon fruit syrup,
Yep.
and a little bit of rainwater. 'Cause, you know, we live on rainwater.
Rainwater.
So yes, it is yummy.
Fucking fantastic. Oh,
I would put a little blue
we also
curacao.
put
Yes.
a little
I was like,
blue
wait, there was a
curacao.
little bit more in there too.
To make it a really pretty deep purple. Oh, it was fabulous.
Because that's Ruby's favorite color. But we wanted to try it, and so that's the way I made my actual drink, because I made a little drink, and then I made a big drink, and then I chugged the little drink.
And she paid for that later.
Oh, yeah, I did. But anyway, I'm having a Cougar Dragon.
I am also having a Cougar Dragon. I made all mine in the bottle of the pineapple.
That was almost empty.
Yeah, I added a little lemon and added a little dragon and then stuck it in the freezer till today.
Added a little curacao,
Oh, yes, I
because we
did.
had to have the purple.
Yep, and then that beautiful purple thing was in my freezer all day calling my name.
Like, favorite dark purple color. It's beautiful.
Ruby!
Okay, I just took a drink. You really are trying to get me to just spit alcohol on my computer. If y'all could see her face.
Looks the other way like I didn't hear her. Hey.
I'm not sorry for the bird.
I went to take a drink and I cheers my mic. I'm cheersing all of our beautiful
There you go.
listeners.
That's it.
All 3 of them.
Cheers, listeners.
You're the
Whoever you may
best.
be.
Anyway, so tonight we are going to discuss something that Shey and I have noticed there's a lot of. Nowadays, it seems like
There's more of them.
more cougar situations are in movies and television shows and stuff like that. So we are going to discuss that tonight.
Yep, because we can. Ha!
We can. And I know that it's always like been a thing. Like people will be like, okay, Mrs. Robinson, you know,
Right.
because way back in what year was the Graduate?
1967.
1967 when they did The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman. And who was the woman?
I don't remember.
I don't either. I personally have never seen that movie. I've seen like little bits and pieces. And I know of the movie, and I know the reference, Mrs. Robinson.
It's actually a familiar actress, but I can't think of who it is.
Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.
Anne Bancroft.
Oh, all right.
And Catherine Ross. I don't know who plays who. Anne Bancroft played Mrs. Robinson, and Catherine Ross played the daughter.
Oh, okay.
And then everybody knows Dustin Hoffman played
Oh, yes.
The Graduate.
The poor victim student. Anyway, so I know that there's been situations in different,
I mean, you think about it, 1967, that was like on the edge of being,
not okay.
oh goodness.
Yeah. And it was a college situation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was the daughter's,
Boyfriend?
I don't know if it was her boyfriend. Like I said, I haven't watched the movie,
Yeah.
so
We should watch that one together.
yeah.
We should watch the one that started it all.
The Graduate. Because he graduated.
Anyway, so we're going to discuss that tonight because now I see it everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere. Whether I'm watching a TV show, whether I'm watching movies, like the idea of
Yeah, we've watched that one, twice now?
Yeah.
Well, I've watched it twice. I think you've watched it more than that.
Right. So obviously, if there's a movie with Anne Hathaway in it, I really like her.
Yes.
And so I'm going to watch it.
I do too.
I didn't realize it was going to be that, but I gotta say.
I think you might have watched it the first time for Anne Hathaway being the main actress, but you watched it every other time because of the male lead character.
Because that little hottie-body guy.
Of which, can I remember his name? No, but I just remember he's the one with the lips, because that's what you always say.
The lips on that guy. But yeah, so I watched that one and I'm just like, wow, they made a whole movie out of it. And then, what was his name?
Nicholas Galitzine? Galitzine? Galitzine.
I don't know. I just know he's got that mouth on him.
Right.
But yeah, when I was watching that one, it was a really cute movie.
It really is.
And
really was.
I didn't really think that they were going to end it as them being a couple.
Yeah.
Because 20 years from now, I don't know.
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah.
You know, when these age gap relationships happen, you're like, okay, 20 years from now, when everything's saggy and thin and frail, and then what?
Yeah.
But 20 years from now with our current spouses, what's it going to be like when we're saggy and thin and pale?
Well, they're saggy, thin, and frail with us.
Right, that's true.
So they're not out chasing younger tail at that point.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it was a cute movie. I liked it.
Yes.
I cried. I laughed.
It was really good.
Yeah. It was funny because you hadn't seen it, and then we watched it together, and I think I didn't expect you to like it as much as you liked it.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure how I was going to like it either.
Yeah.
But it does bring to point a very good aspect that I hadn't really thought of, because you don't think about the family when you're thinking about these age gap relationships that come together, and you don't really consider, like, how is that going to affect the kids, or how is that going to, how are the families going to react to it? And
that's true.
That movie kind of showed the whole picture. Yes, like a whole range of, like, her best friend was like, girl, go for it. The ex-husband was like, what are you doing with my wife?
What is your problem?
Yeah. Not your wife anymore.
No.
You left her for a younger woman. So
right,
you shut your mouth.
He was a little out of line in that movie. But I know it was in the script, and I know it had to be that way. But it was like,
how much of that is realistic, though? Because how many couples get separated, and then she's like, or she or he, either way, they're like, I'm going to start dating, and the other person is like, wait, I don't want you, but I don't want anybody else to have you either.
That's where it's at right there.
Yes.
Yep, that is exactly it.
That's kind of the way mine was. You snooze, you lose.
That's right. Before I watched that one, I'm just flipping through movies, because sometimes I'm bored. It's a Saturday or it's a Sunday, and I'm just like, you know what? I feel like I just need a kick it in the recliner kind of day. So I'll just look for movies and stuff. And there was one, and it was called Adore, and they talked about it being a love story and stuff. Yeah, I didn't expect it.
I have not seen it, but you said it was
to be that
kind of twisted.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
That would not be.
Yeah.
I mean, the storyline you told me, I'm like, that is not okay. Because if you've been best friends, like, we've been best friends for so long.
I could not imagine.
Like, I've known your son since he was basically born. That would be very creepy, weird.
Yeah.
So if they're best friends and they've known each other for more than a few years, that's just not like Stifler's mom.
Okay, you know what? That brings it back. Okay, so that was back in the 90s?
I think so.
See, I guess that's where it started, when you would see him in. It wouldn't make a whole movie around it, like The Idea of You.
No.
It wasn't a whole movie around it, but the insinuation was there.
1999.
Yep.
The year my kids were born.
Oh my God.
That was some of the funniest stuff. Like, I love that actress, Jennifer Coolidge, anyway.
I love her so much.
I think she's amazing, and she's very well-rounded. She's just acts so dingy.
Right.
And I just love her characters. She was like the Spitfire in this one, Hot Mama.
Uh-huh.
And she's just like...
And the dude, Stifler's mom.
And then he calls her by her name, and she's like, don't call me that. Just call me Stifler's mom. Those movies were pretty great anyway.
Yeah, I agree. That brings me back to one of the other new movies. It's a movie it's not even in the theme. It might be in the trailer. But Mother of the Bride.
I've not seen that.
It is a cute movie. I enjoyed the movie. Do you remember the guy that played the main character on Miss Congeniality alongside Sandra Bullock?
In the first one or the second one?
The first one.
Yes.
Okay. He's in it. He's the father of the groom.
Benjamin Bratt.
That's his name.
You're thinking of.
Benjamin Bratt. Yep. Okay.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah, she's the mom.
Miranda Cosgrove.
Mm-hmm. She's the bride.
Rachel Harris. Chad Michael Murray.
Chad Michael Murray, is the young guy at the bar that picks up on Brooke Shields' character.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yum.
So, movies that you don't expect it, they're throwing in this cougar vibe thing. That has happened in several different movies and TV shows and stuff that I'm watching now. It's like a thing. They like stick that twist in there.
Yes.
Where it never they never did.
Now, I have not watched that one. I'm going to have to watch that one.
I think you would like that one. That one's a good one.
I did watch A Family Affair.
I loved that movie. I think I've seen it 2 or 3 times now.
I thought it was kind of cute because I think that one came out after Zac Efron had his surgery.
Yes.
And they made it like part of his character.
Right.
Like,
I think that was his first one out, the surgery.
I've had surgery. I fell and I had to have it right here on my chin.
Yep.
I love the line where he's like, yeah, I work out, and said something about his thigh, and she like touched his leg. She's like, oh, that feels nice. I was like, oh, okay.
Nicole Kidman, she's...
Yes.
Okay. She is also in Good Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can't decide about that one.
And she's in... what was that one I just watched a few months ago? And it was her and her husband, and they drank a lot of gin, and they kept saying Tanqueray. Oh, yeah. See what her...
Last movies. She did Moulin Rouge, The Hours. Let's see what...
Yeah, recently.
Newest one. Holland, Lioness.
It might be The Perfect Couple. It's a TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The Perfect Couple. I have not watched that, but it's like a...
The Perfect Couple.
Yes, but they're not really.
No.
She did Baby Girl.
Uh-huh. So she's doing all of these cougar movies and shows.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if Perfect Couple had... I think it did.
What is his name? Liev Schreiber.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
He's
I haven't watched it.
Movie.
I need to watch it, but it's... To me, the trailer on it is kind of like, they look like the perfect couple, but aren't people dying?
Yes. Yeah, watch.
Yeah, I'm like, and then there's a secret as to how they die? Like, yeah, I'm going to have to watch that because that's probably pretty much right up my alley.
Yeah, but watch when she's there, she looks at him. He's this kid. Oh, okay.
It's probably not going to show it on this one.
Oh, I think it does.
Interesting. Yes, I will have to watch that.
Yeah, there
I
it is
just don't
right here.
spend a lot of time watching TV.
See, and I do.
I think because I spend so much time on the computer at work that I want to do mindless things that I don't really have to pay attention to.
But see, TV is mindless for me.
I can't decide if she's had surgery or not.
Oh, she has. Come on now.
Well, sometimes
if not, it's Botox.
Yeah,
beyond.
But sometimes it looks like she has, and then sometimes I'm like, no, that's her usual face. Maybe it just depends on the makeup that they put on her.
Yeah.
But, see, like, that looks just like her.
But yeah, Nicole Kidman seems to be in a lot of the cougar movies.
Yeah.
But, I mean, who wouldn't? She's hot in real life.
What's funny? Yeah. You know what's funny is when I was watching A Family Affair, I was looking at the parts where they were kissing and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, could you imagine how freaking nervous Zac Efron probably was right before he had to do those scenes when he's like, this is freaking Nicole Kidman.
Truth, because she could have played his mom in all the High School Musicals.
Right, yeah.
But granted, he was over 18 at that time. But I had to look. I had to look.
But it's just like, because you're sitting there thinking about, I think about weird things like that. And I'm like, man, I want to see the bloopers in these movies because I just think it would be so funny. I love when they put bloopers at the end of movies.
You know what? That's what I miss about having the DVDs.
Yeah.
They always had the extra, that kind of stuff.
Well, some movies will put the bloopers in the credits at the end, but they don't always. They need to bring that back because I think that's freaking hilarious.
I agree.
And I like the ones when they're trying to be all serious.
And then all of a sudden they're like
I can't do that.
And then some of them will start to say their line and they'll go, okay, try again. And they'll be like, add it.
Right.
And then pretty soon they're like peeing and everybody on the stage is about peeing their pants too.
Because it's funny. Kind of like what we do.
Right.
Try to say something and start laughing.
It's funny. Another one, it was an older one, is How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
I have not seen that one.
I'm not,
1998.
that's before American Pie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I really can't.
Yeah.
And I think, too, when you watch a movie, like, we have so much computer assistance, I guess, in movies nowadays.
Yeah.
That when you watch movies that are older, like The Graduate from 1967, or movies before 2000, you know, before computers really became such a big deal in movie making, you're just like, that was kind of corny.
Yes.
Because...
And you're like, the picture really isn't that clear.
Right.
You know,
because it's made literally off film.
Yes.
Now everything is digitally recorded.
Yep.
Whereas before it was literally film.
Isn't that funny how much of a difference it makes in the clarity of the picture?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
There's a couple of them. Oh, we watched Lonely Planet.
Oh, that one was kind of odd to begin with.
Yes.
And then it took a turn that I did not expect.
I was watching the trailer and I'm like, I don't know. It kind of looks like it might be a snoozer. Yeah. You know? It's not going to come out and grab you like the idea of you did from the very beginning.
Right.
But it ended up being so cute. It ended up being really, really good.
Yeah, I agree.
It was like a slow burn, and then it was like, oh.
And it wasn't either of them going in for that situation.
No.
It was just a fluke thing.
Yeah.
And then,
like he was with somebody else, and she was just there trying to write and
Yep.
be by herself, and they kept running into each other, and they end up in the same places.
Then they were friends.
And then they were friends, and then it just went from there.
I agree. That one turned out to be a really, really, really cute movie.
It was actually really cute.
I liked it.
There's a couple of them that you've watched that I haven't. The Reader.
I have not watched The
you have not
Reader.
watched
I've
it.
thought
I'm gonna have to watch it though, because to me it looks like it's going to be a very deep, emotional.
it's right up your alley, that
Yeah.
murder mystery type stuff. Yeah.
Because I'm just that way. So there's another one that I just thought of
Yeah.
that has a cougar theme to it, and that's called Why Women Kill. And the one I specifically remember is the one with Lucy Liu, her character.
Yep.
And she has an affair with
right.
her friend's son after she finds out her husband is gay.
Is gay. Yep.
So that was really good. That was really good.
I liked that series.
Yes.
I didn't care for the second season as much as
Was it the second
first
one or
with
the
Lucy Liu.
third one? Was there only two? No, there were three. I just remember watching, there was 3 stories, so I think it was 3 seasons, right? 2 of them were based in the same house, and one of them was not, but I can't remember how they're all tied together. Oh, he was the doctor. He was the doctor of something.
Yep, and she was the garden club, but that was second season.
Yeah, so...
And I really didn't like it as much.
So I can't, I'd have to go back and re-look at it and see which one and how they tied in together. But I know the 2 seasons were based in the same house.
The first season had 3 different couples based in the same house.
That's what it was.
I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it when they did it like that.
Of them all.
Yes.
And then the other one wasn't so great.
Yeah, the second season wasn't. They should have stuck. They should have stuck to the same MO.
Yes.
And they didn't.
No.
But yeah, the first season I was like, yes, this is cool, because that house, like this couple, this couple, this couple. Yeah, it was really cool.
Right.
And I was excited for the second season, and then I kept expecting the second season to do the same thing, and it never did.
It didn't. But yeah, the first season was absolutely better.
Yes.
Of the 2, and that's probably why there's only 2 seasons.
Right. Yeah, because they ruined it with the second.
Yes,
they
it didn't go very far. Anyway, it was a cute series, but I really did enjoy the first one better. But Lucy Liu's character.
But Lucy Liu, you're right. She had that whole cougar thing going on. You are absolutely right. See, just talking about it, it's bringing up.
There's a
we're
lot
like,
more.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
This did. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot more out there than you realize, but it seems to be more prevalent now than it used to be. Like we've talked about before, where it used to be a more taboo topic that you're like,
and now
we don't discuss that,
acceptable.
And now we're like,
we're making entire movies about it,
right? We see it all the time.
We literally do.
Yes,
we see it all the time.
We do, especially at the little bar we go to.
Yep.
Seen it a few times where sassy mama's out there in her little red dress, and she goes home with somebody that's younger than her.
Oh yeah, one of the guys that my daughter was gonna start dating, he was there with a friend, and we met them at the same time, and she stayed hanging out with the guy that she was going to start dating, but his friend kept offering to buy me a drink. And I'm like, no, that's all right, thank you, you don't have to do that. And then pretty soon this older blonde walks by and he asked her if he could buy her a drink. Well, then he's nowhere to be found. And his friend is ready to go.
Oh no.
So Lexi walks his friend out to the car, and he opens the door, and the older woman and him are in the car having a whole lot of fun. That is all I was told, is they were having a whole lot of fun.
A whole lot of fun.
And I'm just like, really? That whole cougar shit just happened right there.
In the parking lot.
In the parking lot.
I've heard that happen a few times.
So they close the door, and he just kind of walks over and walks my daughter to my truck, and she gets in, and he's
gotta just hang out and hang out in the parking lot until they're done.
Until they were done. I'm just like, seriously, that's going on right now?
You gotta tell
and
me
then
who
I'm
that,
like,
you gotta tell me who that was.
it was Thighs.
Oh
Yeah, the first night that we met Thighs.
Wow.
Yeah, and let me just point out that I was the first one he offered to have a drink,
but
I
you
didn't partake.
More morals than that.
Exactly. But I'm just, when I was told about that happening, I'm just like, seriously? He was really after the older ones.
But some of the guys that hang out with us they like their women a little older.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then you get a couple of them that will go older or younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like right in the middle. They don't care.
As long as it's got 2 legs and a hole, they're good.
Ew.
Sorry, that's the army in me coming out.
It's all good. It's all good.
So when I was doing the research on the movies, the age gap movies, of course, then they're like, here are some websites.
What?
Dating websites.
Uh-oh.
That are like cougar focused.
Oh boy.
I was like, okay.
Do you remember I had that dream that I started a cougar dating app?
Yeah, should have done it.
Should have just fucking done it.
So one
I
of
always
them,
miss out.
We've talked about Ashley Madison one other time. So this is the name of the site, and their catch line, or their like what they're about.
Phrase. Or, yeah.
So Ashley Madison, judgment free.
Until the judge says no.
Right. Match.com, long-term compatibility. So that's like anybody, any age. Well, so is Ashley Madison, but I mean, if you're looking for an affair, that's the way to go. I watched that.
But they couldn't just come out and say that.
No. I watched
because
that
they got called out for
just
saying that. That wasn't their tagline originally.
eHarmony, compatibility focus.
Okay.
The League, which is exclusive matches. There's the Sugar Book, which is fresh sugar dating.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, it gets better.
I have a story about the sugar. So
about
Sugar Book? You pick when you want me to tell a sugar story.
Okay, because there's more.
Okay.
So Elite Singles, which is for professional matchmaking. Zoosk, Zoosk. So Zoosk or Zoosk, whatever. Socially savvy platform.
Socially savvy.
Seeking, which is sugar dating platform.
So there's 2.
There's 2. Age Match, which encourages age gap.
Okay.
Older Women Dating, which is a safe space.
Sorry, safe space. I mean, as safe as you can be with a cougar in the car.
Right.
Didn't Ricky Bobby teach us that?
Right. I figure it was safe space because it's more women.
Yeah.
Or more, yes, it's more older women looking for younger men so they can talk or what, I don't know. Cougar Life.
Okay.
Which celebrates cougars. Sage, which is casual encounters. So that could just be anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sugar Book and Seeking. What's your sugar story?
I had a direct boss that paid multiple thousands, and so did the prospect. They all paid multiple thousands for this dating site that would hook up American rich people with foreign people who wanted to get married and become U.S. citizens. So that is actually a thing. I wonder if it's one of those sites.
Maybe. I think, I remember you telling me a story, like flew to the East Coast somewhere for a date.
literally my boss flew over there and they came back totally just exhausted, like tired, because you know what? That boss was older than I am and just completely exhausted. And we're like, well, you're tired today. Yeah, I had a date in New York last night. We're like,
did you have a private plane or something that flew you over and back?
No, they took a regular commercial flight. And because they said, well, I couldn't get a flight out till like, I think they said like 9 or 10 p.m. And so
I took a red eye.
It was like the third time they had flown to a different city for a date, but then it just wasn't, you know. And I made a comment. I'm like, I mean, I'm just spitballing here, and it's absolutely none of my business. But maybe don't let it known your money situation,
right,
until you know them, because maybe you would have better luck.
But that was the whole point behind
it, right? And
they
straight up told me, oh no, I pay a service a lot of money to find me somebody that wants to get married.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, what?
I guess it just seems crazy to me.
Yeah. So then my coworker's like a mail order bride? I'm like, oh, you sweet, naive little, yes.
It's not called a mail order bride anymore.
But now you can just order it online. Yeah.
That's funny.
So it is an actual thing. So I honestly wonder about if it's one of those sites that they were referencing.
Funny. I'm sure there are a ton of them out there.
Probably.
There's a ton of them out there.
We're missing the boat.
Yeah.
We could be rich. Maybe I should just go get a small business loan. SBA. There we go. SBA loan and just start doing all this shit that I'm thinking of.
Right?
But nah, probably won't happen.
Jump in both feet. Right off the deep end. I said both feet. That was a dive.
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to dive gracefully as much as I can, not fucking cannonball my fat ass.
I think I was
Of course, cannonball, I'll make a big splash and more people will notice. So maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Right? Maybe. I told our friend the other day when she was here visiting, I'd made the comment that I said if I really wanted to get into a business at this point, I probably would have done it already. Because we talk about it all the time. And I know I have an opportunity that not everybody has because I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
But if I really wanted to get into a business and put all my effort into a business right about now, I probably would have done it already.
Not necessarily, because I have a feeling that if the perfect situation were to present itself, we would jump.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking I gotta pay rent to some other owner of a building. Mm-mm. I'm talking like, say, our establishment that we frequent.
Yes.
If they were to sell that place.
Oh, hell yeah.
We would probably jump.
Yeah.
Immediately be like, sold, bitches. We want it.
Right. Yeah.
Because,
or
so,
even
I mean, if
just
it was a perfect thing like
looking for the right place. We just don't seriously look at anything. Or I don't, because I don't know that I really want to get that involved. I have 2 years to retire but owning my own business.
We could make something like what we frequent.
Yeah.
Because there are steel building places, like $78,000, and you've got this thing that's twice the size of that place.
Yeah.
And they just put up the structure, and you can do the inside however you want. You throw down some fucking hay bales and some picnic tables, and you got yourself a party joint.
Right. We'll just have barn dances.
Exactly. Red Solo cups. That way nothing has to break and get replaced.
Right. You just toss it in the trash when you're done and cleanup's over.
Exactly.
Yes.
Big old fucking broom. Whoop, whoop, done.
Right. Just buy a small 2-acre, 3-acre piece of land and put that bad boy up. And
yes.
Parking lot.
We probably made her make it 10 acres because of the noise.
True. And put it right in the middle.
Yes.
So nobody can build around you.
And can you imagine the parking lot we got going? And we could have fucking bonfires in the summertime.
Woo!
Oh my God.
See, we have all these great ideas.
Now I'm all excited.
$1 million ideas and a beer wallet.
Pretty much.
Yes.
I've always had champagne taste on a beer budget.
Yes.
Always. My whole life.
That's what my mom always used to tell me. You got champagne taste on a beer budget.
Yes. Yes, I do.
But I'm also not as cautious as you are sometimes. I will just be like,
true.
Fuck it, let's just do it.
And you can be.
Yeah.
I've been bit in the ass.
Yeah.
So I'm more cautious. But
I had seen a saying one time that it was like, do what you want to do, even if you're scared. Just do it scared.
Yeah.
And I've done that a few times in my life. Few multiples. We have great ideas.
We do have great ideas.
We
really do. I mean, we think we do.
That's the key. We think we do.
We think we do. But you know what? When it comes to like parties and opening a place to party and stuff, I cannot even tell you how long in my life, like we're going all the way back to high school even, and then out of high school, where no matter what city I lived in, I created the party and people enjoy themselves and they tell me, God, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I just want to do it again. You know, people are like, you're stupid or blah, blah, blah.
But you enjoy the stupid.
The history has, yes.
Everybody
the history
enjoys
has proven
Yeah.
that I'm fun.
Yes.
I may be stupid,
Right.
but I'm fun.
But that's part of it. You
And-
just are who you are.
Exactly. And they're like a magnet.
Yes.
They're coming in like, you're stupid, you're stupid. Okay, what are we doing tomorrow?
Right?
So, yeah,
Yeah, it's like, that's...
I'm contagious.
yes.
But I have also known I'm like a new toy. The newness
It
will
wears
wear
off.
off,
Yeah.
and then I'm left behind.
Some people, yeah.
Yes. So
And those people don't matter.
I did see a meme. Well, a meme, a phrase, whatever, like for a while now. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind.
Yep.
So I kind of keep telling myself that when I'm sitting here going, why
Listen,
don't I have
bitch,
anything
you've
to do?
got me. That's all that matters.
Now, that is true. Now it's like I'll just show up at your front door. If I'm like really super bad, I'll just show up.
No,
But
you won't. You won't ever just show up at my house.
no, I'll probably text you. I'm coming over. I need it. Have the vodka ready. I'm on my way.
I got several bottles.
I know, of my favorites. Even.
Yes, I have a lemon and a lime
And a pineapple.
and a pineapple.
2 pineapple. Unless you finished one.
No, I don't know where it's at.
You don't know where it's at.
One might be on top of the little bar
sun.
cabinet, and one might be inside.
Oh, okay.
Because I always have my bottles on the top to make
Yeah.
it look pretty.
I got that pretty.
It's got to look pretty.
Yeah.
I'm about to switch everything around and make the big one the bar.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
now you're getting like my house.
That would be so funny. I can't get it done by tomorrow.
Oh,
but
you should have said something last week, and we would have
Right.
just switched it.
that would have been
Hubby would have come
hilarious.
home, and he'd have been like, "The
What
fuck."
is all of this?
You're like, "Oh, we've been having parties like every week since you've been gone."
He'd have been like, you lie.
You're like, "Okay."
He tracks my location. He knows I'm
Do
at
I
your
know?
house.
Ah. But that's only 3 days out of the week.
You're right.
And for the last few weeks, it's only been like 1 or 2 days.
Because we've been going other places, yeah.
But if it's at your house, then he don't know who was all there.
Right. So we talked about these movies that are, age gap related. Of course, there's always movies that have men older than women.
That's like the
and-
norm.
Yes. So, but now there seems to be more of them, that have these strong leading ladies and,
And
they're
it's
like-
not just a few years. It's like half their age.
Yes.
The most famous line that I have noticed in many of these is, "I'm old enough to be your mother."
Right. And every time they're like, but you're not my mother.
But you're not.
Right. So, because I think in A Family Affair, it was like, what, a 14-year gap? And then in The Idea of You, it was almost a 20-year gap. It was 15. Because he was like 25 and she was 40.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Because it was her 40th birthday.
yes.
Yep.
And then, there's some that I did actually find 3 movies on that list that I was looking at
Yeah.
that were same-sex couples,
Okay.
where one was older than the other.
Okay.
But
I don't know what you would call it at that point. You got the
Right.
hypo and the hyper. It's just,
right, so it's like, okay, I know in every relationship somebody's going to be older or younger
in every relationship. Yeah.
but they don't really talk about it as much.
Yeah. Huh.
So you're kind of like, where would that fall under?
True.
But I just thought it was interesting that, and a couple of these one was in 2013, one was 2015, one was 2017. So newer movies, because it's more prevalent
Yes.
now. It's not a dark secret like it used to be.
Right.
So,
That's true.
and that's just the truth of it. Like, it's always been around, but it's not as open, wasn't as open as it is now.
Yeah. But didn't you have some that were before The Graduate?
Yes, there was one that was from 1955, and it was where the woman was older than the man.
Mm-hmm.
It was called All That Heaven Allows. Most of the ones that were older, like 54, 63, those are your typical man is older than the woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had split them out, but most of the newer popular.
So basically, The Graduate is the first one that really...
that everybody talks about.
Yes.
And I think the reason it's so popular or so well known is because of the song. You were singing it earlier.
Oh, that's from that movie?
Not from the movie. It's about the movie. But because they made the song about the movie and Mrs. Robinson, that's what made the movie so well known.
Okay. Kind of like Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes.
Breakfast at Tiffany's was just a regular movie.
Until
but then
they made the song.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And so the song is like, oh, let me go watch the movie.
Right. What are they talking about?
Yes.
What about Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Right. And then the whole Mrs. Robinson song.
Okay. That makes sense.
So,
that makes sense, yeah.
Because most of the time, if you watch a movie and then they make a song about it, then you're going to be, you're
like, I saw that.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I got to watch that
right?
if you haven't seen it.
Yes. The most
true.
Right. The most popular. There was one that I saw. I've never heard of this movie. It was called Licorice Pizza.
What is that about?
I don't even know. And you know what? I didn't.
When was it from?
2021.
Oh, so it's wow. Okay.
So I'm wondering if it was one of those COVID movies.
Oh, those things got a bad rap. It's like, no, stupid COVID.
Right, but it's it's just one of those ones that was made towards the beginning. Was it a movie that was?
Well, no, that's just 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
It might have been very popular, but I don't remember seeing it.
Is that Ron Weasley?
I don't know. Sean Penn was in it, but they're like young.
Yeah. What is she, like 6 years older than him?
So we've talked about these movies.
Yep.
And we talked about our age gap dating apps. We won't be going on anytime soon.
No.
And I think it's just basically like we always talk about, just live your life.
Live your life.
If you want to be a cougar, be a cougar.
Yep.
And be a damn fine one at that.
Right. Sorry. No, live your life the way you want to live, unapologetically.
Right.
That's what I say. All right. Well, on that note, I'm Ruby.
And I'm Shey.
Until another day.
Thank you for joining us for your new favorite podcast.
Woo!
We will see you next week. Make sure you like and follow at Cougar Drinks on all your favorite social media platforms, including our YouTube channel. We are so excited to build this community with you.
So excited.
And we hope you will become a member of our Cougar crew.
Drink happy.